I cheated on my husband. And not just once. It happened 3 times in a single night, with 3 different men. It was insane. It all started with news I had been waiting months for. I got promoted. Months of piled-up work, responsibilities no one else wanted, endless hours, and weekends spent in front of my computer. When they confirmed it, I felt a rush of joy. I got home happy. My husband was on the couch watching TV. I told him, he congratulated me, gave me a quick kiss, and went back to the screen. He wasn't cruel or cold, it was worse, it was normal. Too normal. As if I had just told him they changed the coffee brand at the office. My friends insisted we celebrate. Just one night, they said. I hesitated, more out of habit than anything else. I told him I'd be back early. He replied, "Sure, have fun," without even asking where we were going. At the time, it didn't bother me. I got ready, did my hair, my makeup, put on perfume. Not to impress anyone, but because I liked how I looked. I stared at myself in the mirror before leaving and thought, if my husband doesn't want to celebrate, I will do it on my own. The first bar was packed. Loud music, lights everywhere, people I didn't know, and who didn't know me. That was new. No one saw me as someone's wife, or as the responsible one at home. I was just another woman celebrating. We toasted once. Then again. Then I stopped counting. We were having a great time. I talked about my promotion like it was some epic adventure, and they played along. At some point, I started noticing looks. Not pushy, not uncomfortable, just curious. And something inside me reacted. It wasn't direct flirting, it was remembering that I could still spark interest in other men. I danced. Much more than I expected to. Without thinking about how I looked, just how I felt. Happy and free. Free for one night. At some point, we changed places. Or maybe it was the same place and my perception just wasn't as clear anymore. I remember long hallways, dark carpets, and a sudden silence away from the music. I remember laughing as I walked, not really knowing where I was going. I went into a room with a man whose name I don't remember. The strange thing is, I didn't care. I just wanted to have fun and celebrate. When I stepped back into the hallway, instead of panic I felt adrenaline. I looked at myself in a mirror and started laughing. Not nervously, almost conspiratorially. Like I couldn't believe what I was doing, and still didn't want to stop. I went back to the music, the crowd, the lights. My friends didn't ask anything. They just looked at me and understood. That look between women that doesn't need words. That's where it should have ended. Any reasonable person would have gone home. I didn't. The second man showed up about 10 minutes later. We talked for a bit, he bought me a drink, made a few jokes. I went along with everything, as if that night had no consequences. I wasn't thinking about my husband, not because I hated him or wanted to hurt him. He just didn't exist in that moment. I remember perfectly the moment I should have stopped. It was clear. He checked the time and said the place was getting too crowded. He asked if I wanted to go somewhere quieter to keep talking. He didn't insist. He didn't pressure me. He just said it and waited. And I said yes. We walked down a side hallway almost no one used. The music faded with every step, and silence started to take over. I remember thinking something very specific, I can still turn back. But I didn't. We stepped into a more secluded area, dimly lit with soft lights. The atmosphere was different. There was a large couch. I sat across from him and we kept talking. The strange thing was that we were talking about ordinary things, work, travel, random, unimportant stories. It was a normal conversation, but to me it felt exciting. No one there knew who I really was. In that space, I wasn't a wife. I had no past. No routine. I was just a woman having a good night. And that feeling is what ultimately pushed me further. I was repeating something I had sworn, just 10 minutes earlier, would never happen again. And while it was happening, part of my mind was watching from the outside, like I was seeing someone else make those decisions for me. When I left that secluded spot, I took a deep breath. The cold air in the hallway snapped me back a little. For the first time in hours, I thought about my home. I pictured the kitchen, the silence of the early morning, my husband asleep, unaware of everything. And still, I didn't leave. I went back to the music, the lights, and my friends. One of them looked at me and raised her eyebrows. She didn't ask anything, just smiled. That smile felt like silent approval, and I think that's when I convinced myself that everything belonged only to that night. The third time was the strangest. It wasn't the alcohol. I knew exactly what I was doing. I was sitting with my friend, tired of the noise and the music. At one point, I went to the bar to get another drink, and that's when I saw him. He was alone. Well-dressed, calm, like he wasn't in a rush for anything. He looked at me, then came over to talk. It wasn't direct flirting, it was more subtle, more gentlemanly. He asked my name, what I did, whether I was celebrating something. He spoke with confidence. He wasn't trying to impress, and that made it even more impressive. He had that presence of someone who seemed to have money, but without showing it off. Within minutes, I was talking to him as if I had known him before. My friend joined us, and the three of us started laughing. The vibe became light and fun. Then he said, almost as if it were the most natural thing in the world, "If you want to keep the night going, come to my place. You'll have a good time." Then he added, "You can both come." I don't know why that made me smile. Like it was something normal. Like it was just continuing the night. I looked at my friend. She hesitated for a few seconds, then said yes. So did I. He drove us there. The ride was short and quiet. We weren't talking much anymore. I felt that mix of nerves and anticipation, but I said nothing. His apartment was large and very tidy. He offered us something to drink. It was just the three of us, no one else. At first, we stayed in the living room. Then he started getting closer. There was no pressure, no insistence. It just happened. And I didn't stop. I knew exactly what it meant, and still, I didn't say no. I cheated on my husband again. We stayed there for about 2 hours. When I checked the time, it was almost 6 in the morning. The sky was starting to lighten. That's when reality hit me. I told my friend it was time to go. We said goodbye and left. We were both smiling, as if nothing had happened. We each went back home. I walked quietly into the bedroom. My husband was still asleep. I lay down beside him and wrapped my arms around him. He didn't suspect a thing. He didn't open his eyes. He didn't ask why I was home so late, or why my perfume smelled different. He just slept. While he rested, trusting me, I had just betrayed him multiple times in a single night. My husband never found out what happened that night.